Hey everybody, I'm Crow. Welcome back to Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin. I'm less tired this time, so hopefully it goes a little better. I don't remember what element the dragon is, but I do know it does lots of poison toxic stuff, so I put on the Poison Bite Ring +1 preemptively, and whatever element the dragon does do will get reduced by this. And if we find out, then I'll put that specific ring on again if we die. There's really no reason to try poison arrows. And it's a dragon, so I'm pretty sure it's weak to lightning, because Gwyn killed them with thunderbolts. I'm pretty sure, like, all dragons are weak to lightning. This one can be a lot harder to dodge. Oh, it's just regular fire. Unfortunate, then, that we don't have the ring for that. Nope. Okay. I mean, if he's just gonna keep... Wow, that went all the way over there? I actually wasn't expecting it to go that far. It's a lot easier since we're ranged, I guess. Because... Wow. I don't know, I guess if you step back and he did that, it would be easy to hit him in melee. A lot of his things can't be iframed through if you roll towards him or to the side of him, because even when your animation's done, he's so big that he's actually pushing you forwards. Either way, one way or another, we should... well, that too, but we should finish this DLC today. I did... Oh god. And then we can get on to the other ones. I know I said I didn't really care too much for this one, and it probably just came off as complaining. I don't completely hate this DLC or anything. I just think the other two are a lot better. Which I think is a good thing, because this is the one that came out first. You know... Wow, I'm dodging a lot more than I usually do. I'm surprised we've only had to heal once. I've done this as a sorcery characters, and as faith characters, and as a burning to death character. And it usually goes a lot worse in the beginning. Wow, we didn't get hit by that either. No! Locking onto the feet? How? Man, I haven't done this in forever either. I'll screw it up, just give me a minute. That's kind of cool. I like when he does that. Except usually I get swept away. I'll get close to the dragon. There's no way he could breathe fire on me. Running from the fire! As a ranged, it's important for us to lock on. As melee and other ranged classes, I feel like it's more situational. It's a lot better to run away from something than to try and just dodge. Granted, if you do get hit, you take more damage because you're running and not rolling. But you can get out of things much easier if you're actually running. That's why they put lots of mechanics in that you actually have to run to get away from. Because most people just play locked on. Not that there's a problem with that, it just makes things a little more difficult. Run! Like, if you're running away from the thing directly, I don't think there's any way the thing can hit you. Roll! You just gotta roll in at the end. And thankfully, because it doesn't use the same Dark Souls 1 control scheme, jump is actually another button, so you can actually roll at the end. Fire breath? Fire breath. You can actually, roll at the end instead of jumping, which just causes you all kinds of other problems in the first game. Where'd you go? I remember that being so much harder to dodge. Bro! Breath? Oh, I don't think he actually would have hit me even if I didn't dodge that. Running away. Wow, I actually one-shot him. I don't think I've ever one-shot him before. And I've done some pretty cheap sorcery builds. Crystal Soul Spears usually tear things up, even if they are pretty resistant to it, just because of the sheer damage it does. And Soul Geyser and stuff. Yorg's Ring. Blech. Crown of the Sunken King. We got the first one. So if I just... A faint heat lingers in the ancient crown. Teleport back to the bonfire that we can see over there, because walking is for chumps. And then we can go pay our friend Vendrick a visit. I'm pretty sure that's where the faint heat lingers. The Undead Crypt entrance. No, it's the Undead Ditch. I didn't remember. I thought that one was... I knew there were... it's whatever. But as we get a crown, we get to go back into a memory. All of them let you go back into Vendrick's memory again, but I don't think there was a specific memory that you got to go back into for the first DLC. The second DLC has a specific one. And I don't remember if the third one did. I don't remember having to fight any other bosses or anything. They're gonna hit the thing and summon stuff, it's whatever. Because when we get to the end of this hallway, they're not going to follow us into that room. And so we run! Yeah, you're wrecked. You can't come into Vendrick's space. And I can feather out of here. But 1 out of 3 down. And I enjoy the other 2 much more. I don't know which one is my favorite. I really like the Old Iron King one. But I also really like the snow aesthetic and everything for the other one. I think without Ludden Zalin, the snow one's probably my favorite, but if you count Ludden Zalin, then Old Iron King one.
Seeker of fire, deliverer of crowns. What do you see in the flames? Find the crowns and your own answers. The crowns hold the strength of lords from times long past. Seek adversity, as befits you, seeker of fire, coveter of the throne. Seeker of fire, conqueror of dark. I too sought fire once. With fire, they say, a true king can harness the curse. A lie, but I knew no better. Seeker of fire, you know not the depth of dark within you. It grows deeper still, the more flame you covet. Flame, oh, flame.
Stupid jets flying by my house, this ain't something I can pause. Anyway, Aged Feather, and we're off to the next... you know what? Maybe we can level up. I think we might actually be able to get a couple level ups. Actually, I don't know about a couple. We can get at least one. I might as well spend them, though. This next DLC, we will actually be able to use fire arrows, despite the fact that it's the fire DLC. Because they have explosive barrels everywhere, and it's really fun to shoot them. I love the different elements interacting with things, and fire does that more than anything else. Which is the reason why I typically use fire arrows, because lightning arrows won't make them explode for some reason. Even though they kind of should. We can get a higher vitality. Yeah, we don't have enough to level up again. We're probably not going to get to all 40s. In fact, we won't, because I don't want to put any points in attunement. We're probably over-leveled for the content, but at the same time, it's like... I don't know. My bow doesn't really get any stronger if I have 40 and other stats. It just gives me a little more health. And magic resistances, I guess. Where was... It's the keep. Fire keep. That one, right. But, like, we have a 40 in intelligence and a 40 in faith, and all that does is get us some magic resistance. That's not really efficiently using the points, and since we're not infusing our weapon and we have no scaling with those stats, I don't think it's as overpowered. If I was using a dark bow or something, then we would be making full use of them. Or a fire bow. I just wish there was an ice element. I know there's a lightning short bow over there, but... we have the black bow of Ferris. I might die. Thank you! That ironclad will actually follow you down here further than I remembered. It actually ran to, like, right here before it turned around. I always come over here anyway, so I never noticed. I had no idea he'd follow you that far. Usually he just turns around, but maybe that's just because I went right up to the door before. And second DLC. It's so broken. It has one of my favorite bosses in this DLC. It's probably not the one you're thinking, though. I kept saying... I didn't remember. I didn't know this was like the old Iron King one, because I was like, no, the old Iron King's the boss that we fight. There's another one. But I think this actually was the Crown of the Old Iron King one. And because I kept thinking it was different, but I wanted to call this the Crown of the Old Iron King DLC. I don't remember what episode it was, but I'm like, I can't remember the name of that boss that I kill all the time. Because as you saw when we teleported here, this is already bonfire setting up 4 times, so we're at New Game Plus 4 here. Or we're in the other area anyway. And then boom, you walk out here and you're like, wow, it's so snowy and nice. And then you look and you just see that it's burning ash. And you're like, oh, it's not actually snow, it's, eek. I think it's cool when you can see around all the different places here, though. And walking along those big chains, though that thing over there is kind of, We are going to have to explore this one a little more thoroughly than the other DLCs, because we have to get, 13 shard things. And they assist us in the areas. See? You see these people, and you're like, doesn't it look like they froze to death? But it's actually just ash from stuff burning. And these things. We get 6 smelter wedges. There are 13 total. The other ones are not in such big clumps as this one. And one we actually have to get from defeating a boss. So the easiest thing to do, as we get all of the smelter wedges and continue through, is to not smelter wedge the very first one we see. Because that means we can easily get to the last one when we get the last smelter wedge. We could jump down there. Or we could go this way. And there is a nice ring over here I would like to get. First, though, I just realized I'm still using these rings. So, cat ring, and we'll just put the fire ring on here for now. We will eventually, later in this DLC, get the flame ring plus 2. Or 3, actually. But that thing's going to come out of the ground and do spooky stuff, and we're like, whatever, you can keep doing what you do. And we jump down here. And there's a dexterity ring. And what the dexterity ring does is dexterity things. Ah, there it is. It increases your dexterity by 5, which would get us 4 more points of damage if we needed it. If you think about it, the Ring of Blades gives us 35 physical attack, and the plus 2 version actually gives us 50. So, kind of a drop in a bucket, but I mean, if you're 5 short of being able to use a weapon, like you have 20 dex and you need 25, you could just put the ring on and you could use it without ever actually having to spend the points, if you're trying to do a lower level build. So, it can give you a little more breathing room. Hop down here. Old Growth Bomb. Basically descending and ascending and going to other places and ascending and descending. It's just lots of towers. And sneaky hidden people. A lot of people prefer the more unique enemies. I've heard lots of people say that they don't like fighting humanoids. But it's never really bothered me. I don't know, fighting zombies and undead and stuff. It kind of seems like an undead theme. I don't mind fighting creatures and stuff, though. It's cool. I've just never placed a huge preference on it. Sometimes these have items in them. Oh, that one did. Large soul of a proud knight. It's cool also they give away their position because you can hear them chanting. They do different things to mess us up as we go through here. Anyway, there's an ambush up ahead, so we're going to start with that ambush next time. Thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you liked it. Later, everybody.